What's up guys, welcome to another First Shots video. Today we're going to be shooting my brand new LWRC SMG-45. Guys, I've wanted this gun for over 3 years now, ever since I first heard about it back in 2019. As you probably know, Pistol Caliber Carbines are my favorite guns to shoot, and 9mm has traditionally been my favorite caliber, but I also really enjoy shooting 45 ACP. 45 ACP has a much different feel compared to 9mm. I would consider 9mm to be soft shooting and a little snappy, while 45 ACP has more of a thump with a push instead of a snap. It's definitely a really powerful feeling round, and I absolutely love that it's naturally subsonic, so you don't need to purchase specialized ammunition to be able to make it hearing safe when suppressed. Another really cool thing about 45 ACP is that since the bullets themselves are so heavy, typically around 230 grains versus 115 to 150 grains in 9mm, they really slam the steel and get it to ring nice and loud, which is particularly fun for the steel I have up on the hill here, and even more so when suppressed. Now, while I have a ton of 9mm handguns and pistol caliber carbines, I only have a few 45 ACP handguns, and I've never owned a 45 ACP pistol caliber carbine, so I'm really excited about this. A good friend of mine does have a B&T APC-45, which is fantastic and tons of fun to shoot, so maybe at some point I'll do a comparison between the two. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see. But other than that APC-45, I really have no experience shooting 45 ACP pistol caliber carbines, so I'm super excited about this, honestly. As for what specifically attracted me to the SMG-45, there's a ton, honestly. For starters, LWRC is a really cool company that makes top-tier AR-15s, so when I heard that they were making this SMG-45, I was immediately very interested. But what really hooked me was the operating mechanism and the attention to detail. The SMG-45 uses a highly innovative short-recoil delayed blowback setup, which actually has the barrel moving slightly rearward under recoil, which means that any attached suppressor will need a booster or a Nielsen device in order to function properly. But that delayed blowback setup also should make this gun a fantastic suppressor host, which is one of the things I'm most excited about. Now, as for other elements that I like on the SMG-45, the handguard is really sleek and the overall design of the gun is amazing. I know aesthetics aren't everything, but man guys, this is one of the coolest looking guns I've ever seen in my opinion. I really like the folding non-reciprocating charging handle. It uses HK UMP 45 magazines, which I think is really cool. I actually really like the pistol grip. It's a great angle and the texture on it is really nice. It has full ambidextrous controls, including an ambidextrous bolt hold open lever, which is a huge win in my book. I love it when companies include a nickel plated bolt. It makes them really easy to clean. I also love that they include a QD sling point on the rear plate. It's a really nice touch that I wish more companies would do. It does come with these really nice Magpul aluminum flip-up iron sights, but with this folding brace setup, I prefer running a lower optic. Also really excited to see how well it suppresses. I'm going to be using my Rugged Obsidian 45 suppressor today with the Griffin EZ-Lok adapter that I've really been loving. I'm actually going to have a review up on these really soon. Guys, I've been waiting for this gun for a long time, and one of the reasons I didn't buy it back in 2019 is because when it first launched, there were some issues with random accuracy problems and magazine fitting issues. It's really common for new platforms to have issues like that early on, so I figured I'd wait and see how they handled it. And from what I understand, LWRC has supposedly fixed all those issues with their Generation 2 SMG-45s, which have a serial number starting with 4AM as this one does here. One of my main goals today is to see how well it runs, and if it runs well for me, I'm most likely going to file a Form 1 and turn it into an SBR. I'm basically running this gun bone stock with only 2 exceptions. I did install the EZ-Lok adapter on the barrel as previously mentioned to assist with suppressor attachment, and I've got one of my favorite red dots, the Holosun 503 GU with both circle dot and red dot options. Alright guys, that's enough talking. I'm really excited for this one, so let's go ahead and hit the range. Okay, got a failure to feed there. Looks like it got a little bit bent going in. This is a brand new magazine. Okay, fed fine that time. Okay, another failure to feed. Okay. Here we got a failure to extract. Next round seated, but it did not reset the trigger. Okay. All right. Guys, one of the great things about 45 ACP is that it's naturally subsonic, so it's capable of being very quiet suppressed. So we're going to test the sound of the SMG-45 suppressed here on the dirt. But one thing that's pretty common with pistol caliber suppressors is something called first round pop. That basically just means that the first round fired is going to be a little bit louder. Then once the suppressor gets filled with gas from that first shot, the follow-up shots are going to be a lot quieter. So to test the SMG-45 suppressed, I'm going to start off with 2 rounds unsuppressed, and then I'm going to attach the Rugged Obsidian 45, and I'm going to fire 3 more rounds suppressed so that you can hear the difference between first round pop and the subsequent follow-up shots. So let's start with the first 2 rounds unsuppressed. Okay. Then we'll attach the Obsidian 45. Okay. Suppressed. Guys, I absolutely love the sound of a big 230 grain bullet slamming steel at range while suppressed. Let's see if I can figure out where to hold. That's fun. Guys, for where I'm standing here, the gong is about 82 yards away. As I mentioned, I love the sound of 45 slamming steel from far away when suppressed. And I also really like the lag time that you hear because it's really only moving about 900 feet per second or so out of this barrel. So let's see if I can figure out where to hold. Not bad. Guys, this gun is a total blast. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's 45 ACP, so it's obviously not as quick as my 9mm pistol caliber carbines, but just feels like a different experience entirely, honestly. I love the big thump that you get with 45 ACP. It's a lot more visceral and powerful feeling than 9mm in my opinion. That being said, the SMG-45 is really soft shooting. That delayed blowback system really tames the recoil a lot, and man, it is really awesome suppressed. The Griffin EZ-Lok system works beautifully, and it removes any anxiety that I have over the rugged suppressor walking off while firing, and it's just so incredibly quiet. I love it. I'm just obsessed with the sound of such a large 230 grain bullet suppressed on steel. It's just so fun and satisfying for me. As for reliability with the gun so far, I shot 180 rounds today, which was a little bit more than I intended on doing, but I was just having so much fun. Out of those 180 rounds, I did have 2 failures to feed and 1 failure to extract, but honestly, I think those can be chalked up to a magazine issue. These 2 magazines are brand new. I just got them in from HK Parts, and the first time I ran each of them, I had a failure to feed. I pulled them out of rotation for the rest of the range day, and I had no more failures to feed, so I do think that it was probably the magazines on that one. This magazine here had a failure to eject. That may or may not have had anything to do with the magazine. It was running well prior to that, but I pulled it out of rotation just in case. Otherwise, the magazine here and then these 2 up here ran perfectly with no issues throughout the rest of the day. The smaller one here I did get from HK Parts as well, and there were a couple of times that it failed to feed when I dropped the bolt upon loading the magazine, but it never did that while firing, so I think that was probably something I did. So overall, not perfect, but I think most or all of the failures that I had today were magazine related, so I'm not terribly worried about it. I know even after LWRC fixed the magazine issues, some people still insist that HK magazines run best for them and theirs. All the ones I have here are US-made UMP magazines. They're supposed to be modified for the SMG-45, but I definitely have my doubts about the ones that I got from HK Parts. I'll have to do a little bit of research. I think there might be some modifications I can make to the magazines to get them to feed better. I'll probably contact LWRC just to ask them and see what they say. Now, in terms of the shooting experience, ergonomically, this gun is just spectacular. It's a lot lighter than I would have expected it to be at just under 6 pounds before the optic was installed. The handguard is a perfect size and really easy to wrap my hand around. I really like this pistol grip. The ambidextrous safety and both hold open and release levers are perfect. The magazines took a little bit of breaking in, but they're getting to be really easy and fun to insert, and I'm a big fan of paddle mag release levers personally. I did pick up a mag loader from LWRC's website that's made by Custom Smith Manufacturing. It did make the mags a little bit easier to load as well. Trigger is decent. It's slightly better than a mil-spec AR trigger. I'll have to look into it. I think I might be able to upgrade it with any standard AR trigger, but I'm not positive, so I'll have to research that some more. The one other mild criticism that I have is that I do wish these slots were M-LOK slots, but they're not, unfortunately. They're LWRC's proprietary system, which honestly seems really excellent. It just limits your options for accessories a little bit. With that said, they do offer 1913 Picatinny rails that you can slap on to install just about any accessory you want, and they aren't all that expensive, so it's not the end of the world, really. As far as pistol braces go, this is one of the best I've used, honestly. It's surprisingly comfortable and functional. But with all that being said, I can't help but think about how much more fun this gun would be as an SBR. I love the additional control and ergonomic feel of a vertical grip, especially on a short gun like this, and a folding B&T or UMP stock would really put this thing over the top, I think. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and file that Form 1 to make this thing an SBR. Those have been coming back pretty quick recently, so hopefully mine does too, so I can get an update video out for you guys once I converted it. So that's going to be all for today, guys. We got a lot more videos coming up soon, including more PCCs, ARs, AKs, handguns, and shotguns. Remember to like and subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned, and thanks for stopping by.